Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Let's get ready to go for the 5th week of May at the end of the month and early arrival in the month of June in today's weekly challenge on Gran Turismo 7. Here we have 5 events is about to be ready up to go for the weekend at the Nürburgring, National Alpe, and Grand Prix for the European Clubman Cup 600 and World Touring Car 900. For the other 3 events to have the Japanese FR Challenge 450 at High Speed Ring Reverse, Lightweight K-Cup at Tokyo Expressway South Clockwise, and a brand new special event for the limited time only for a single week is the Volvo 340 T5 art design to go for the woman category at Nürburgring. Plus, 3 prize earnings is now being received to have 2 types of 6-star roulette ticket on the parts for only 1 event, and 5 events for the car category, along with 150,000 Gran Turismo credit to go for having a compete in 3 events. So, I really hope 2 races at the Nürburgring is going to be a very good, excellent opportunity. Plus 1 for the special event will go for a Polestar arrival. Will be ready up and get yourself prepared to have some new cars since the May 2024 update, and plus of this year in the 24 hours of Nürburgring is going to be a lot of good excitement around on the weekend. So I hope I'm ready, because let's start out and take on the Nürburgring for the first part, and then the special event will go in second, and the last for only 2 events will go for every Japanese road cars on the Lightweight K-Cup and the FR layout. As always, if you're new to my YouTube channel, be sure click the subscribe button, then leave a like and comment at the section down below. Check out the links on the description if you want to see more. Don't forget to click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos in the later future. Let's get ready to go and start for today's weekly challenge. Let's begin. Lots of very excitement going on of this year's 24 hours of Nürburgring for everyone, including Gran Turismo fans and Gran Turismo players, to have a good place, and plus there's going to be having some very unexpected on the fall condition, might be very challenging for all drivers out there. Just only the National Alpe and the Grand Prix track is now being put up to have race number 1 and race number 2 by a decision of choice. But for starters, I just really had to go for only 1 road car only to take on in European Clubman Cup 600 at the National Alpe. But any kinds of European road cars will be available to choose. Any kinds of your best pick will take on the Alfa Romeo Giulia GTA M 2020. I'll have to get ready up and choose the Aston Martin 177 2011 with a Total Drama Island livery as a reboot, Michelle Ladonna. That's right, folks. This will have to take a good spotlight to have a one famous actress will get behind the wheel and take on the green hell for only 1 contender to be stepping in to go rolling start onto the last position. But if so, that would be a very good, best, stunning, amazing luxury supercar to go faster, stronger, and challenging up to have 2 laps around the track will go longer it takes to have the first stage will be prior to the World Touring Car 900. But after all, every Total Drama livery will always have some new challenges and some new faces to go coming around. Hope I'm ready, because one part of the race will go weekends at the Nürburgring to get you settled in. So let's go and be prepared. I just have to go and embrace it and dominate every part of the corners since the Porsche 911 Carrera RS Club Sport Type 993. 3 seconds, and here comes Michelle Ladonna in at 177 in the 20th position. Just have to keep it nice and go clean competent. 19th position is now coming up from behind is the DS Automobiles. Just have to keep it concentrate, be patient. Good overtake. Now coming up to have the Audi TT Quattro 3.2. Stepping in, and just have to keep a good maintained pace to come around, and few corners will have to step it up. TT Coupe 3.2 Quattro overtake, moving on to the 18. But take a good look inside to the interior view when driving with the Aston Martin 177. first appeared from Gran Turismo 6 back in 2013 and being popular to be chosen in Gran Turismo Sport as N700 category, but still beautiful, luxurious, and have that all-time of high-performance supercar will always have to go stronger and just make it well proud to be exactly indeed. It's a proud British sports car because every vehicle will always have to go with high expensive exotic car. So I got a good visual look on two compact cars on the Volkswagen Scirocco, and the Renault Megane RS is now around on the 15 and the 16. Got to keep up the good, maintain the pace. Next sector coming in. Down to 36 seconds to go. But I'll have to make sure to have that part of the racing condition when using a brand new Total Drama livery from last year, ever since when the reboot just come out back from 2023. But now in 2024, because of the premiere is now being labeled to be arrival in America. But somehow I just really wanted to watch Total Drama Island reboot. Is going to be a very good best time to relive, and just like the original back from season 1 in 2007. But heads up, BMW M3 on the 13th position is Marla Golingo is now coming around on the grid. Just keep a good clean concentration. Just avoid by taking one scratch, otherwise I might have to tell Nichelle that it was Jerry, her stunt double, but I'll have to leave it to her so she can handle it by herself, because when it comes to have some movie star actress, we'll always have to come up with a good talent. Alright, very good. Go by the 12th position and catching up on the 3rd gen Audi TT Coupe. Slower in. Got a good eye on Lucas Ordonez in position 11. Just have to hold the line, maintain the pace. Next sector coming in. It's only down to 28 seconds. Almost going back in 29. Just have to keep a good footer offense and stay around by the main edge of the clock of the grid. There you go. Now for the Ferrari Testarossa, just have to go by position 9. Maserati Gran Turismo S on the number 8 spot. Just have to go in there and have that turn to go around by the right until the curb straightaway will go abandons and putting up on a caution course. Just wonderful and very good top tier contender to have a supercar to go face up with the Giulia GT-AM. Down to 26 seconds. Got a good eye on the Aston Martin V8 Vantage S 2015. A characteristic of the Aston Martin wheel cars, just like header in the same kind of a V8 Vantage S, since I just originally made from Gran Turismo Sport for having a main part of the Vision TD fan art project. But if so, every other Total Drama fan art liveries comes in to have some team variation. We'll do a different kind of perspective and representation. But very yet originally for Nichelle LaDonna to be part as the ferocious Trout, and even of course Team Ratface from season 2 in the reboot. But I can't say because despite of the confusion from the original and reboot, but it'll have to be considered for Total Drama Island 2023 as season 6 and season 7 as well. Can't say because I just really have to watch it, but it's gonna have to be well available to be watched anywhere on different streaming platform devices. Just have to keep moving on. Fabio Gallo is in the lead. Hope I'm about to be ready to go pushing up on the main edge and go follow up on the ropes. Taking on the green hell, always have to stay concentration without having a single mistake. There's the other two cars right now, G. Kennedy and E. Bertie. just have the Lamborghini Miura, and Porsche Cayman GT4 is now coming around on the 6th and 5th. Okay, another sector coming in. Just have to keep it nice and slow. Patient is the key. Okay, concentration might have to take a little bit more blocking around to go further up ahead. Alright, that should do well. The Porsche Cayman is in the 5th position to overtake the Miura. Now I'm going in. Just had to take a little bit more longer to get there to have enough horsepower to go pushing up on the main edge and boundaries throughout every part of the corners and skills. But the 4th position is coming in nearby is the TBR Tuscan Speed 6. Just have to go to the flower bed corner right over here, down to 26 seconds, and be on the lookout because the different condition on daytime might be a little bit more foggy out there that we have to keep our eyes peeled. But less foggy, just like the real-time effect. But of course, that should be a little bit less foggy out there when coming out in a full straight. Now full speed ahead, down to 25 seconds to go. Traction might have to set into 1 because sports hard compound tires will give it a much more well default. And it's about to go on number 16. Whoa, gonna have to keep it well careful before having a good stepping stone overtake to catch up to the 2009 Porsche 911 GT3. Just have to go top gear, and final lap is on the way in number 2. A much more British heavyweight handling could be helpful with extreme horsepower and good cornering to have a matter of concentration when racing at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. But that could be considered to have the 177 as a recommend road car to take on with the Giulia GTA M 2020. It'll have to take more step of the distance and just have enough horsepower to get there to be carried out from over 700 horsepower and make it to go up in about over 1000 horsepower. That could be having a same kind of a characteristic like the Aston Martin DP100 Vision Gran Turismo in the racing hard compound tires. Just have to take a takeoff corner right over here, station and center of the gravity. Got to keep going, and I have a good sight seeing view on Bosby Bureau Boris in the Mercedes AMG. Just have to go slower and just have to go competent, patient before the next turn around before entered onto the current sector. There we go. C63S 2015 overtake. I'm on second place in about 18 seconds to go. The chase is on, and the catching up effort to go elevation to overcome many obstacles around in the green hell at Nordschleife. But it's not going to be easy. Heavyweight sports car versus 4-door sporty sedan will take that thrill of a showdown. But it's a halfway there. Just have to break the 16-second gap to go there within the 0.7 seconds, and it's going to be on the way. From patient times to fast effort to go on many corners throughout one lap at a time. But having a weekend is very much more important from Saturday and Sunday, especially for Friday. But it'll have to go for only one earlier start to have the celebration of this year's Nürburgring 24-hour endurance race. But in the end, first place driver has now been goes to the Audi R8 LMS Evolution. but you know the team name because just give it a comment whenever you like to go by pronounce. But I mean, I just really want to watch the 24 hours of Nürburgring of this year, so I just really want to see some good moments. Okay, that was a close call for that turn. But good mint condition, always have to keep it clean. Okay, it's about to go down in 11.7 seconds. Got to keep going and have the next turn to go back onto the brake zone right over here. Alright, there we go. Looks like fog is clear and go brighter on the normal. Ten seconds left. Valio Gallo is almost there to have the next turn to go back at the carousel corner. So I had to look alive and better brace yourself, Valio Gallo. Michelle LaDonna is about to be joined in for the spotlight of the racing. Just only down to 8.5 seconds. He's already at the carousel. Got to keep going up and keep the handling on the traction to go safeties on. In I go. Perfect curve of performance will give it a much more scene of the spotlight. But still yet to have the recent fastest lap time in 8 minutes, 2.697 seconds. But I hope if I had to go by under 8 minutes, that should be carried over by over 7 minutes and 50 seconds throughout one faster lap time on the Green Hill in Norshina Ibe. Got to get in there because one part of the race will go moving on to be on the Grand Prix track for the WTC 900 for the Group 2 category. But I just got one race car to be available to be prepped up and just had to go for a track-only hypercar. Just like last time and last week from the European Race Tour on Sardinia Road Track A for the WTC 800. But if so, but I can hardly wait to go and use the Valkyrie again for this time. Okay, next sector, here I come. Just a little bit more halfway there in 5.4 seconds to catch up to Valio Gallo. Just have to go braking in, have that turn corner perform. Okay, very good response feedback and better on the torque. That's very good. 3.6 seconds and I see him right now. Just have to wait to go back to the long straight, and this will have to go for a real show of a drag race. It's only down to 3.1 seconds. Then let's turn up the volume and kick it up to the high gear. Let's bring it on and go full acceleration. Turning up on gear 5. It's only down to 1.9 seconds to get there. The Giulia GT8M still have a lot of good acceleration horsepower than the 177. But if so, because it'll have to be finishing up on second place, we'll go for having a major procedure on race number 2 around at Nürburgring. Just have to go a little bit more careful to avoid a contact. Oof, okay. That what Nichelle would like to say? Take that, Hollywood. And checker flag has now been cleared. Oh yeah! Love that 177 with a Total Drama Island livery represent Michelle LaDonna, ladies and gentlemen. This could be her dream car, and that would be a high-performance luxury sports car to give it much more scene for having a major set of the film. Just have it for only one movie for only one new Total Drama contestant to have some very good gorgeous in substance. But total time in 15 minutes, 40.939 seconds is doing a tough good work effort out there for only a second lap in 7 minutes, 38.242 seconds. Cut, print, and clear because the first race has now been cleared on the gold podium. But not yet at least what's left of it because standard earning comes in without having a single clean race. But the next time, I'll have to make it to go by take two as a promise. We'll do it much more better to have the same 177 to go again. That's one roulette ticket in the parts category, and plus a content replay will give it a much more fun front view to be in the scene. Just have to go closing in, just feast your eyes and wait for the patient on standby to come around. Just have to go a little bit more slower in. There we go. There's no need to have some different scenes of the frames, and that should be it right now. So, for only one road car has now been saved with replay. Just have to go to the Grand Prix track on WTC 900 for race number 2. But if so, I just really have to go for only one detour up opposite. We'll have to be well preferred to go harder and make it well advanced on difficulty. So it's all done for the notion of iPay. Then Grand Prix track, here I come, and gonna have to brace myself if I had to go for the Aston Martin Valkyrie 2021, or if possible, just have to grab a different Group 1 race car. Might be very helpful to go recommend to take on with 19 Group 2 cars. For the second vehicle, as I'm about to be using with a Dodge SRT Tomahawk Vision Gran Turismo Group 1 with a Total Drama World Tour livery, Team Chris is really hot. But I know I've always had to say that many times to go by 4. But after all, just have to go by recommend of strategy to be well preferred to have the racing hard compound tires only. But it doesn't work, just have to let your strategy to get everything what you might need to make your own. So it's all set to go for racing competition because I'm craving for the best time to be on the Grand Prix track for race number 2 in the same place at the Nürburgring. Finishing up in 3rd place or higher, we'll always have to make a good usual way and make it more faster to have a row of a racing spotlight. But I can hardly feel it because 19 Group 2 cars versus 1 Group 1 cars will be featured up, and just have to be on the lookout to have some few other Group 3 cars from the 1990s. But no sign of the Toyota GT1 TS020 1999. But it's going to be available to be seen racing at Le Mans. Every shape and sizes for Group 1 car will be compatible to be entered on WTC 900 as ever before. Same goes to the Dodge SRT Tomahawk Vision GT as a Group 1 car to have a different look since Gran Turismo Sport to be based off from the GTS-R counterpart. But it's also to be having a full, naturally aspirated with a gas power to be included without a hybrid battery to be placed and installed. Same goes to the interior view when driving with a Group 1 counterpart version of the Dodge SRT Vision GT. Very designed to be capable to be compete in Group 1 races to have a role of Le Mans hypercar. It still have a form of a concept and being perfectly to be well designed as an American prototype race car. So I had to put up and go endurance on Lean 6 and have one overtake at a time for Group 2 cars in every 10 laps. I hope all the practices will have to go helping in and just have to go helping out to go around by 4 sectors with some known corners, including the Michael Screwhammer S as my favorite. Good overtake on Baulio Gallo on a Honda NSX GT500 2008. 2 for the Lexus SC430 GT500 as well on the 16th and 17th place on Echelon, and they held it. 4th sector coming in, just had to look ahead and just have to go to the chicane. Is going to have to be a bit more patient to go one lineup at a time. Still not yet. Just a little bit patient. Might have to go gain up with a little bit more increase of the sportsmanship rating. That's 1 lap down. Total gap distance up ahead in lap number 2 for 43.1 seconds. Got to go proceed on the first turn. 90% left, but it's about to go all in endurance to hold down the fort, and just have to be a little bit more patient to get there to win this race in order to have that strategy to go by other choices between 1 pit stop or 0 pit stop by having a single Group 1 car with using a different Vision GT race car. Time to go in on Sector 2. Got a good eye on T Yamanaka on the 2008 Nissan GTR GT500 spec version. Down to 1.1 seconds. Time to go concentration, precision to focus. Okay, very good competent on the line and coming around before entered on Sector 3 to go back on the Skuhammer S. A bit more competent for Team Chris is really hot, is now moving up to the 15. There's Elim on the Mercedes-Benz CLK NLM 1998. Got to keep it steady. Just have to go clear space. 4th sector, and Jay Bria is on the minute. 59.434 seconds, is going to be almost by 2 minutes. Alright, there we go. Keep that torque handling and proceed to the final turn. Second time on the inside to find a good line to embrace it to catch up to T Labutue. Third lap, 7 more to go. Fuel is at 82%. But looks like 1 pit stop will go daring risk to have that struggle to get there for only a few other Group 2 cars and 3 iconic Group 3 cars from the 1990s. Got to go on the main pace, overtake Takuma Sasaki along with some few other opponents, including N. Moisab. That's triple body overtake. Moving on to the 11. That's a very good thrill. MPB. Tomahawk Vision GT Group 1 has now been put up on Play of the Game. And almost forgot one other thing for having a clear faster lap time by being Jay Breer's run. 1 minute, 54.114 seconds is now being placed on lap 2. So I had to go faster, competent, and strategize to keep it well endurance. But the RPM will have to stay a good tip-top shape to go around by exactly under 10,000 RPM. Got a good eye on the 4th distance. In 10th place, Igor Praka in the 1999 Nissan GTR GT500. Go to the NGK chicane. Keep that position in. And 2 2016 NSX GT500 is around by position 8 and position 9 for Angel Inestrosa and Killian Ponder. Rolling out on the 4th lap, overtake the GTR Classic GT500. Okay, good respawn handling torque and come around to catch up with 2 Honda NSX Concept GTs. Doubled by the company, and 1 Team Chris is really hot on the 10th place to go halfway there. Okay, good counter steering wrecked. Almost there. Just have to go a little bit more careful to avoid boxing in. Alright, there we go. Now for the double overtake. 2 in a row. Moving on to the 8th. Okay, now good placement of the record lap time faster in 1 minute, 52.256 seconds. Got to catch up to Lucas Ordonez in about 1.3 seconds remaining. He's on the 7. Same goes to have a different role for Jose Serrano. Hold it steady. Just have to catch up for only a single Lexus RCF GT500 on the number 7 spot. Then the Audi RS5 Turbo DTM 2019 is on the 6. Just have to take that apex in. Still around by 66%. Just have to go by the inside apex nearby, then full throttle to go on the right side of the middle of the track. There we go. It's only down to 21 seconds. If I had to go faster and harder for only one pit stop, but the decision will have to take that further choices to go by late. It's only down to 20.6 seconds. Down to 6 more to go. Jose Serrano is now coming up to catch up with some few other drivers on 5th place Q Giroux without using the drag reduction system. Okay, very good to have a 20-second gap distance to break through. I see the rest of the 4 cars coming around and proceed on to the next sector before at the end of number 2. Okay, Jose Serrano is doing good on the 5th. Only another Lexus RCF GT500 is now coming around behind on the 6th. That should do for only one patient, then coming around to have the Warren Steiner curve to be around to have that next scene. Alright, very good. Have that apex to be touched in. Going through and proceed with caution to be around on the chicane. Okay, it's about time for Kilian Druma to go to the pits. Signal in and slipstream out. Down to 56%. It's about to go hard and a concentration to go contested risk. Good overtake. Now Burkei Kawakami on the 2016 Nissan GT-R Nismo GT500 spec. Just have turn number 3 and 4 go. Make that exit to go for having a short straightaway to get back on sector 2. Alright, there you go. Just have to stay behind on Kawakami, and then 3rd place will have to make it more procedure to go claim by the ejected to have a main suitable look. There you go. I'm in, and just have to go finishing up in 3rd place or higher. Climbing up on the Michael Schuheimer S, 6th time in a row. And next up the sub gap in 7.5 seconds to Jay Bria. There he is right now at the far distance before approaches at the chicane. With 10-second gap is now being cleared, it's go down in 9.8. But the offense and defense will go increase simultaneously to go a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Just have a go counter steering to be well effective on the final turn. 3 more to go. Fuel is at 47%. Just have to keep going in and stay on third. Second place, we're doing good. And first, we'll make it impossible. No other Gran Turismo player at the Nürburgring Grand Prix for the WTC 900 won't be able to try this one. It's a very good suitable challenges to see how a Vision GT race car to go lean 6 by having a lack of endurance. Just have to do a little bit more in about 4.2 seconds. There's the BMW McLaren F1 GTR 1997 long-tail version and good on the signal in the far view. .7 seconds. I hope I can make it this time. It's only down to 4.8 seconds during the 7th lap and 3 more to go remaining to get closer to have a one single lack of racing endurance. But if so, because the faster lap time will have to take that minimum requirement to go by 1 minute 51 seconds to go by a 0.0 seconds of decimal. But the choice is, every other Group 2 cars will always have to take one pit stop available to go by late. Especially for Group 1 cars, we'll take the exception to have a 0 stop at the short moment if anything happens to go by the management of fuel strategy. It's only down to me and R. Sternberg to be moving up on the 8th lap. Just have to be patient up and have that long extended recess, but I have some good news to let you know because of my full walkthrough that I just been acquired. The National B Master License is now being proceeded to go entered on National A Master License. But good thing, Angel Inostroza to become as the coaching instructor, so I'll be on my way and just have to go proceed patiently to go one activity at a time. But still yet, the extended recess that I just been put up with because of the focusing in weekly challenge to go by weekend. By having 1 second breakthrough, almost there to overtake R. Sternberg in the Nissan GTR GT500 2016. But the good news is, faster lap time has now been claimed by 1 minute 51.617 seconds in the Dodge SRT Tomahawk Vision GT Group 1. Come on, just have to keep trying. Just have to be patient and have the left side to go clear opening to be tightened up and go tight and clear. But wait, just one thing for sure, because one car will always have to keep a clear procedure before enter the chicane. I'll have to take the 9th lap because Sternberg will have to do a pit stop before at the end of the lap before the final lap will be on the way in about 30% of the fuel. Because I'm always have to go super racing competitive me. Okay, good response feedback to be around on the torque, handling, and double check. Back on Sector 2. So far so close to see some spectators around to have the Nissan GTR Nismo GT500 versus the Dodge SRT Tomahawk Vision GT Group 1 turns out to have a brilliant of a one-on-one showdown. Just very impressive and go full showdown to see which one is the faster category type in Gran Turismo history for the WTC 900. Just had to buy some time and just had to save by at least in 25% to go under by 20. Just had to go for the world starting curve. Stay behind on Nürburgring because the final lap is about to be on its way and tougher risk will have to go calculated to go on the chicane. A possible commit and just had to go safety measures to go on full caution. Okay, Nürburgring is in the pit. Now, final lap is on the full stretch. So he's at 2%, and I have 22% to go, is now being double checked and raring to go. This strategy is all about to have the Group 1 cars to go full on endurance. Just have to go focusing and just have to save plenty amount of fuel. If anything happens, might have to save by at least in 5%. By the skin of its teeth, and just have to go at least to go clear for only a podium finish for a single Group 1 car to be around at Nürburgring. Just have to go enough defense in 13.3 seconds, while Kawakami is on the second place along with Nürburgring is coming out at the pits for third place. Got to keep going and just have to go by 18% for minor. Without full boost, just have to go full power gas only to have a single Tomahawk Vision GT Group 1 is now being placed on the first. This challenge is about to be finishing up soon until the first place will claim on the podium. Got to take one more turn on the chicane. Brake zone in. Watch the apex and be cautioned to go patient around. Alright, here comes the final stretch. Just take it and go power 1. Yes! There we go. True Blue on the podium for having a Total Drama World Tour livery is on the first. Just came in first, and checkmark number 2 is now going green for only 3 more to go. Now that's a good World Touring Car competition. Very exactly, and total time in 18 minutes, 47.439 seconds, plus Kawakami has now beat my lap time in a minute, 50.385 seconds on lap number 10. But always have to be practiced for every Group 1 car when challenging with 19 Group 2 cars. Will always have to be on the main step to go clean race bonus. But speaking of which, just had to go back and filling out to have some more million of Gran Turismo credit after I just purchased another Honda NSX GT500 2000. But still being popular as part of the May 2024 update to have the Casco Mugen as well. But one thing for the replay, because just had to go around and have the duration in about over 19 minutes. Just wonderful to have the National Abe and the Grand Prix track to have 2 types of cars from road car into racing car as possible to have some best heritage in automotive history. Just one thumbnail image captured, quick exit, and save it for a content along with the other 5 cars will be part of the update to be seen. Kinda say that every part of the race will always have to take the first stop at the Nürburgring before moving on in race number 3 will get you settled in to have one of the 5 cars will be using the Volvo for having a Polestar position at Red Bull Ring. But it's about to go one make category because this one is now being labeled by brand new. Just like last time when I was racing at Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit to be well tested by using the Comfort Stop tires. but it's a very good car, and being yet importantly to have a sedan car to have a true successor just like the original as a family station wagon to go longer and extended to have a different form of the chassis. But how about putting up on sports compound tires might be very helpful to go challenging up and have some tough decent effort. Got to go on the settings and make it onto the sub compound to be labeled in sports. So I really bet every other Gran Turismo players will have to make their own personalized livery to the same Volvo V40 T5 Art Design 2013, just like the main rival cars to have their very own personalized style to be part of the special event. This brilliant race for the lightly tuned V40s will prove that big power can come from little Volvos. Very good description and first time ever because I'm about to go in it and proceeded to have a main part of the special event just like all the other kinds of a one-make category to have this one in this part of the update. But I can't say it because one kind of the manufacturer brand has now been returned to Gran Turismo, but I can't wait if Lotus will be coming up soon by next month update or two. But I don't know guys, this might have to find out soon enough if we had to go and have a good experience to have a Volvo to have a Polestar in racing style. Then let's go. This will have to take that rolling start in 12th place to go for a standard version and right hand side interior view when driving with this car. As ever said before, because many challenges will always have to go for a concentration and test yourself to see how good you are when driving with this Volvo V40 T5 Art Design is a modern kind of a 2010s model. Just have to go full straight. Acceleration is the key of decent way. Now coming up on the brake zone, just have to keep it careful and have turn 3 to go around on the inside of the apex. So I have a good eyes on the gap distance in about 13.6 seconds to go further acceleration to catch up around before approaches on turn number 4. But it's about to get a little bit further, so I just need to step it up and brake well to go FF understeer commit. Okay, a Cruiser is on the number 10 spot. Good yellow paint job, but very yet to be indeed to have a custom themed exterior parts. There we go. Moving to the 10 and go around by sector 3 in about turn number 7 and turn number 8. Every Sweden cars always have a good possibility to have a star of a pole position. We'll give it more one-make category to see this Volvo is more modern and style just like the original back from the 1990s to have a good limited production is now being stationed by original throughout 30 years ago. But the V40 is still remain very popular to have a good family wagon to become as the next generation of a form of coupe. First lap down, moving on in lap number 2. Okay, just had to let C. Thompson to go first. Turn 1 on elevation, just like back from National B Master License. It's about to go down in 9.7 seconds, going to decrease a little bit, then just have to go up, climb onward around by turn 2 and turn 3 to get back on sector 2. Okay, that's a very good step to have a new ways of a challenge. I'm always love to go participate. So next up is T. Stephenson. Almost over 2 seconds up ahead and just had to go brake zone directly at turn number 4. But when it comes to have Volvo cars to have that kind of a sedan and hatchback altogether, it always does might be a very good form of performance and European style to have this spec version to be using on the right hand side interior view. for the same car to be using on the left hand side as the American model, but other Gran Turismo players may have to come to think a bit about the right hand side or left hand side for every part of the same car. That doesn't matter to see which comfortable to be using on driving position will get yourself behind the wheel. But the halfway there is just yet to be closer before at the end of the second lap. Many kinds of exterior parts when using the V40 is more impressive whenever you have to take a good look. The wing spoiler might have a good similar look to become as a British Touring Car Championship racing vehicle. But here's my lap time in a minute 59.962 seconds. Down to 4.3 seconds. It's going to decrease well because I have a good eyes on M. Ordonez and G. Simmons. Well, can't say that several different kinds of the opponents might be based off to be rolled as a variety kinds of characteristic. Well, every opponent might have to come up with a different kind of a character name. So let's go in there and just have to catch up on to this guy in 4th place. I'll have to take the right side of the track. He's on the middle. Just wait and brake well to be approaches to get back on turn 4. Okay, there we go. Just have to stay behind for the last 3. It's about to go nearly there for the final lap, so I have to make it quick and just had to make one good standard style version without custom parts installed for the GT Auto. But it has a wide body kit as well whenever you had to see it. That would be much more cooler to become as a European spec touring car to be racing at Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. And plus, Nürburgring as well to have a main part of the European Touring Car Championship to have this car to become a road car and pretend to be as a cosplay of a racing car. Come on, just have to keep it up and go slipstream. It's almost there for the final lap on number 4. Going up in a minute 58.315 seconds to go up in over 113 miles per hour by gear number 4. Alright, that's good. Come on, go full acceleration. It's about to go side by side. I'll have to take a good eye on M. Ordonez in 1st place. Going up by turn 2 and stop at the brake in turn 3. This could be a very tough challenge because I'll have to take that podium position to go Polestar on the finish line. It could be a little bit more harder to have some parts to be installed. Ooh, so very close, and I'm on the 2nd. Just only a few more inches to go. 0.2 seconds up ahead, we'll go around to have the next advantage to go by turn 5. And that's the ticket. 1st place, here I come, and the final sector in number 3 will be on the way to be achieved at the finish line. Just every race will always have to go sports soft without installed parts will get yourself tested and face it to go impossible. Now for turn 9, and here comes the final turn in number 10. I can't wait because when it comes to have hard races, you'll have to take the intermediate to go lower by having a nice and good peaceful difficulty. But in the end, 150,000 Gran Turismo credit to be finishing up and clear for checkmark number 3. Now that's a good Sweden road car and very yet to be challenged yourself to have this vehicle is going modern and won't make competitive. Just differences like the station wagon for the Volvo and very yet for the V40 T5 art design is now being debuted by having a first ever race on the special event. The total time is 7 minutes, 55.068 seconds as I took the faster lap time in lap number 4. 1 minute, 57.519 seconds is very good on normal for the soft compound tires to go sport action. But you know, recommend parts could be helpful from other Gran Turismo players to have a one tip of advice. But very good to have a Sweden in blue, and prize money is now go double up by 127,500 Gran Turismo credits. That should do by 100.3 miles of today's driving marathon, and a credit ticket has now been claimed and acquired. But if so, because every different cars will go by having a good rule of a one-make category. Especially for the Volvo V40 T5 art design is very uniquely special for having a first ever of this video content. Just have to go by capture thumbnail image, and there you go, right next to the same car in a yellow color scheme. With 2 more races to go, because this will have to take a more tour of Japan as I'm about to be ready up and get myself prepared for the next week like this one, but I'll have to be patient up and be on the lookout for having some 5 races will be related exclusively in Japan. So let's go to Tokyo Expressway and have the South District to go for the Japanese Lightweight K-Cup. But good thing I'm just putting up to have one Suzuki Cappuccino 1991 with a UDRS Insportec livery to go by exactly in under 400 performance point is now being checked and good to go. Just like the same kind of a vehicle with an engine swap by carryover by over 590.27. But normal part with a standard engine that you guys really might need to be reminded to have that standard kind of an engine is the F6A-Cappuccino. This will be doing a normal kind of an engine without using the RX-7 engine to have some impossible to have a single ineligible type. So it's all set for now, and just have to go penultimate to be on the piece of cake for race number 4 to have a single lightweight K-Cup for the south clockwise in Tokyo Expressway for 3 laps. Just having a rightful time to go weekends at the Nürburgring before having the last 2 races after the Volvo V40 at Nürburgring is a very good first ever debut since having a first time ever to be well participate. Time to go. And just had to go nice and peaceful to have a rolling start on the 16th position. Let's do this and go K-Car nighttime for having the best Tokyo racing of all. Well, I kind of say because it takes a long delay for my fan art project after Vision Total Drama. Dream Art Livery Style Dispenser will always have to be on standby as I'm still working on with some variation for every favorite Dispenser Camp characters. Well, I kind of say because other team members of Odd Nation Cartoons is giving us an important tip before the upcoming episode during the merge arc is now being put up on the final 9. Well, I kind of say because it's best for me that I just really might need to have my lips sealed without having spoiler alert because of those leakers. But yeah, I just really don't like leakers who really talk about Dispenser Camp by the upcoming because that could be ruining the surprise. That would be a 100% big no indeed. But of course I just really might have to take a little bit more time and get myself to be relaxed because Pride Month is already arrived in June because June 2nd is now being finishing up before at the end of the day before coming up by tomorrow earlier is now on the 3rd. Just have to keep moving on and just have to go inside the tunnel to have a main straightaway to go on the curve. But still have a good potential driving with using the Cappuccino with the UDRS Insportec will be helpful and just have to go with high turbocharged RPM without an ultra high. Here comes Derochi on position 11. Just have to overtake the Daihatsu Kopen 2002 and Mikhail Hisal on the 10. Chicane incoming. Just line up and just be very careful. Okay, still good. Just have to be around by position 11 to go overtake on Mikhail Hisal. So it down to 9.5 seconds. Proceed on lap number 2 to beat the train. Okay, that's good. Now for Patrick Basson, Jonathan Wang, and R. Kevoham by having 3, and make it for having 2 Daihatsu Copen and a single Honda Beat 1991. Okay, just have to stay concentration. Going in. Just have to go a little bit more inside and have the left side to go squeeze in. More space clear. And coming down by the op ramp. Okay, gonna have to go brake on the hairpin. Oh, so very close that I just took the outside. Okay, that's better. Caught on a pretzel stick. That was a pretty tough, decent, close call overtake indeed. I still have a long way to go because 8.1 seconds when moving on in position number 7. But I still barely have to come out to have my own catchphrase when it comes to having some desperate measures of racing. Back on the tunnel, and gonna have to go proceed overtake on T. Yamanaka on the Honda S660 2015. Dark purple, very good, and K-Card modern tune example. Alright, that should be do well and have a good eyesight check for only last 3 cars. Chicane coming in. Good advantage, and few other drivers are about to go slow turn and faster recovery. Okay, Iko Braca on the same Suzuki Cappuccino is on the 4th, Ryuto Kokobun is on the 3rd. He's going in and pressing on to the final lap. So far so good, and nothing else to do any problem for K-cars. But sometimes struggles will always have to keep a little bit more boxed in to have some few other turns around on 2 lane of the road. But I'm always have to get used to it because Piece of Cake Basic will always have to keep it well clean to get it simple and have some shorter amount of duration. But over 5 minutes have passed, and that will be doing the most fine, decent way to get there to have the first step to go climbing up in the top 3 position. Okay, that's only 2 more Honda S660 2015, Takuma Minasono and Baulio Gallo. There's no need to have a little bit more backup reinforcement. Just have to go full all the way and accelerate to have some curve straightaway to get there on time. But the faster lap time has now been cleared by 2 minutes, 14.979 seconds. Okay, very good overtake for Baulio Gallo, but the 4th gear will step it up and be patient to go full well competent. Got to keep pushing. Final sector is going closer at the end. Ooh, so close to be aboard a contact at the barrier. Just 1 more chicane and that will be going clear overtake on Minasono. Just only 1.1 seconds. Come on, just have to keep pushing. So far so close, and I almost barely had that good clear stretch. Watch the checker flag, and it's going to get a little bit more closer out there. Oh, so close. It's going to be a tiebreaker. So very close to have myself to be in the first. Man, that was so close call to see that, folks. Just me and Takuma Minasono to go harder to be reaching up at the finish line. That was so absolutely close. By having a decimal of 0.003 seconds, and he just took by 6 minutes, 51.702 seconds. More or less, I just took third lap on 2 minutes, 14.347 seconds. Well, maybe next time if I had to try to do a little bit more harder, and that would be a very good thrill hardcore racing action for a single Japanese K car. But second place is all I need to have a very more tough effort time choices to see it. So let's see the investigation to have that replay. Just hang on, this might have to go for the last part of the scene to go around by the end of the third lap. That scene is where I'm about to be going up to have that best part of the scene. So it's about to get nearly there, and just pause. Got to be a little bit more slower, and there it is. Just hang on. I guess that part of the scene is where it all ends. But the thumbnail image will have to explain the example that I just almost barely had that moment to go clear on the podium. So that's replay number 4 for this week, and just almost there, and nothing else won't be having any more problems, because up to high speed ring on reverse for the final race in Japanese FR Challenge 450. Just have to go up north, and just have to go by complete a competition, so I just really have to go and use the Nissan Skyline GTSR R31 1987. It's a very good road car to be quite classic and retro since Gran Turismo 2 back from 1999. But almost forgot to have one other thing to have some major returning cars as well. By having a standard car from Gran Turismo 4, Gran Turismo 5, Gran Turismo 6, and fully detailed few in Gran Turismo 7 that have a nice brighter look is now being quite good, amazing, and heritage for the first time ever since I just took a first impression at Tsukuba Circuit and Autopolis International Racing Course on the full course. So let's go, and going basic is now doing the best time on GT2 Racing Nostalgia. 3 seconds, and here I come. But I still come to think about the interior view is more retro than I ever enjoyed to be imagined. But first things first, because the weather radar might have to be on surveillance in case of weather forecast to go rain. But you know how it is, the comfort soft tires is a very good quick advantage for beginner cars in FR drivetrain layouts. But very good, overtake, now going to catch up to R. Kevelham and Matthew Simmons. Just have to stay steady up on the line around by turn number 3 and 4. Opposite direction does my go comparison difference. Going in on the bridge and overtake the Nissan Silvia K's Diamond Selection S13 1990. But what can I say, it is very more nostalgic and enjoyable to have that R31 Skyline GTSR is very good vintage like the R32, R33, R34, and R35 GTR. So it's almost there. Got to catch up to R. Kevelham on the 2015 Toyota 86 GT. Every classic car will always have to make the old dog to learn some new tricks. But just have to make it well possible to be well exactly to have the same pattern just like the original background of High Speed Ring back from Gran Turismo 2. But here is a faster lap time for the R31 Skyline GTSR. 1 minute, 39.516 seconds. Just have to go F-bar style and stay on it. Every track will always have to come together to have the exact reunion. Now for the tunnel to come out and take on turn 3. Very good defense on the gap in around 2.5 seconds. But the weather forecast is still yet to be around on sunny day with few clouds. No sign of rain because it's absolutely doing well and it's all good. Just a little bit more. Have turn 5. We'll take that same pattern to go breaking in. Sliding turns does help both, and very good for the classic retro road car. Just brilliant to be able to have this car to have some more racing modification to this GTSR Skyline. Well, I kind of say it because racing modification to go serving up as variation from Gran Turismo 2 back from 1999. That would be a very good, most fun choices as ever for every Gran Turismo fans, and Nissan fans is being more proud of a fan of Skyline. But look at this, only a minute and 35 seconds to go around by the decimal to be finishing up at the end of the race to go by having a short round on Japanese tour. But after all, first place will always have to go with a new car and same event to have the reverse direction rather than go on the forward direction. So here is the total time is 3 minutes 14.864 seconds, followed by D Masuda is now being put up to have a minute 33.593 seconds to be my lap time. Very good, exactly, and good old classic road car for the JDM is now being perfectly to be specified to be using on the track. 15,000 Gran Turismo credits and a 6-star roulette ticket car category has now been acquired, and finishing up for the final week of May and earlier to be arrival in the first week of June. But you may have to call it a mutual week before at the end of the month and early month arrival to have the first day of June from Saturday, and also to be arrived on June 3rd, which is going to be exactly on Monday. So let's have the final part of the replay to go requirement on thumbnail image. Just have to go preferred to do on the scene, and just like this one. Just have to place right here, quick exit, and there you go. Fifth race of the weekly challenge is now being done by 100% once again. Well folks, every car comes in to have some new ways, new challenges, and same old ever events will do the usual way. But can't argue with that because 5 check marks is now being finishing up in about 3 days remaining. But after all, because I almost forgot to have some few other things to have some long extended time of recess before going back to License Center. It's about having a little bit more time to be attended to have some best activities from elementary school and middle school alike. But I know, racing education will always might have to take a little bit more practice to get back and do some more exams. Time to do some reward challenge and collect with 150,000 Gran Turismo credit, plus to have some additional for only a 6-star roulette ticket in parts category. Let's start out to have a regular driving marathon to begin. Let's see the parts and find out which one should I get. Okay, camshaft S has now been checked and compatible to the Crown Athlete G safety car from Toyota. I'll have to keep it for a while. Now for the second 6-star roulette ticket parts category for having an open gift. I wonder what it is. Okay, the carbon dry shaft has now been received and it's going to the 2010 Lexus LFA. I hope it is because one 6-star roulette ticket in the car category might gonna have to give a possibility of a luck up chance. If it's gonna be on the cars from the brand Central, I'll be in it and receive it. Okay, it's gonna be some 3 kinds of Vision GT cars and 2 Super GT 500s, and there you go. Looks like I just got myself another Skoda Vision Gran Turismo to have a different color scheme of green. I really hope it has a good color type to have the different ways, but morely impressed, the green color is what I need to have the second one for only a shared part of the car collection. Just like the Czech Republic theme variation, and this one is good jaded in green. So folks, the weekend on the Nürburgring we're having a Nordschneider Ape for European Clubman Cup 600 and Grand Prix for the World Touring Car 900. Plus for the Volvo 340 for the 1-make category at Red Bull Ring is very much more good first debut, and plus to have some 2 Japanese events on the Lightweight K-Cup at Tokyo Expressway. But I almost barely had that moment to go achieve, and finishing up in first place before Takuma Minasono has now been claimed in the first position at the podium. Well, I can't say because top races will always have to go for having a friendly competition to go for a matter of respect for the Japanese lightweight K cars. And plus, for the Nissan Skyline GTSR R31 is very good to be having a brand new car to be returned from Gran Turismo 2, like this one is good to be in the GTS to be raced at high speed ring reverse. Just like old times, and very perfectly to have this car to be made to become as a fully racing spec variation. So, I guess recess time is over before going back to the license center as I'm about to wrap this up at the end of the video. Only one more thing for sure, you guys. I'm about to be putting up to have some 3 livery variation to have a Total Drama fan art to go with TDW team with Team Victory for the Toyota Supra, Team Amazon for the Honda NSX, and Team Chris is really hot on the Nissan GTR GT500 as Japan Grand Touring Car Championship model. But keep an eye out because development will always have to go, but the lineup and production for Vision Total Drama will be on the way. So thank you for enjoying watching the video on Gran Turismo 7. I hope you enjoyed. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. Follow me on DeepNet Art, Instagram, Twitter, GT Planet, Patreon, Discord, and more social media platforms. And don't forget to check it out, all of my screenshot images on UDRS Insportech, Vision Total Drama, and DreamArt Livery Style Dispenser presented by myself, Hyperion-Blue-GT, as you may ever welcome at any time. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.